So, hi everybody. Today our topic is how we unify the Sangha communities and why is so important, and how many obstacles or challenges we can be faced, and then how we deal with these challenges. This is our topic today. Okay. Okay. Everybody listen very carefully, please, and translate very carefully. I try slow as possible, and also I stay silent between as much as I can, so translator, so you can translate properly. Why so important? The reasons important, I will tell you one by one. But also, why I choose this topic? Because entire my life, I saw many problems in Sangha communities everywhere. Not just our Sangha, but more problems I saw other Sanghas. Our Sangha also have no big problems, but we have small problems. But I saw many big problems, other Sanghas as well. So therefore, it's so important to know and how to we win the obstacles. Okay? That's why I choose this topic. So you be carefully listen and translate. Thank you. Firstly, if anybody inspired Buddhist path, either you are consider yourself a real Buddhist, Buddha's follower, or you are just inspired Buddhist path. So then you have to understand the Buddhist uniques, the unique qualities. Okay? without understanding the unique qualities, then your understanding is not clear, and it will going to be causes confusion. Why I say this? Because so many people, even they are really like Buddhist path, but still the imaginary Buddhist path is similar. The other religion or something else. That is, I'm not talking about something sectarian point of view. It's not about sectarianism. Even you want to be non-sectarian, still you have to understand what is the unique in Buddhism and what is the unique in Christianity and so forth. If you don't understand each religion, the unique, then your understanding not going to be very clear. If not going to be clear, then could have, it well could have causes and confusion, and from the confusion can have other problems. Okay, so that's why I'm explaining you today this. First, think about all religions seeking some rescuer, protector to practice. That part very similar. But what is the Buddhist unique is 3 jewels: Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So you have to remember a Buddhist path, these 3 jewels are equally important. Not all Buddha is more important than Dharma. Dharma is more important than Sangha. It's not like that. Okay. Have you ever seen any text say they are important, more important than one and other? I believe you never seen. So you just have to really have to remember that. Okay, I want to repeat again. In Buddhist unique, the 3 jewels equally important to reach Buddhahood. That's why we say, take refuge 3 jewels. There is never say something 2 jewels or 1 jewel. Have you ever hear something similar in other religion? The Sangha is included in the refuge. I beg you, you never heard. I bet you. So you see, it's unique. You don't have to accept that unique as long as you don't want to follow Buddha Dharma, Buddhism. You don't have to. But if you consider follow Buddhist path, then you cannot make one is more important than other of the 3 jewels. Okay? So why I said that? Why I'm repeating that? As I said before, I saw many people, many Buddhists, always, often, very often, oh, Buddha is something important, oh, Dharma is so important, and Lama is so important, but then Sangha, not considered so important. Sometimes they don't even like each other, even backbiting each other, jealous each other, angry each other, resentment each other. Do these things. Not I saw, I hear. I'm sure you guys saw many, hear many. Sorry. Therefore, today we make clear when we say Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, we not talk about details of Buddha today. We're not talking about details of Dharma. We talk about a little bit about Sangha. When we say Sangha, you have to understand extraordinary Sangha and ordinary Sangha. You have to include both. When we say I take refuge, Sangha, it includes extraordinary Sangha and ordinary Sangha. Or you can say Arya Sangha and ordinary Sangha. So simplify meaning, Arya Sangha or extraordinary Sangha means who realize emptiness directly, not intellectually, is directly, then become ordinary Sangha, or extraordinary Sangha, Arya Sangha. Whoever not realize Buddha nature directly, but inspired and share Dharma with you, share a teacher with you, Dharma teacher. This is your Sangha. Anybody, whether you like or not, whether annoying you or attracting you, you are attracting. Whether is appears very bad person or good person, whether is stupid or intelligent, whether very jealous person or egotistic or very aggressive, self-centered, doesn't matter, it's your Sangha. Okay? You can't say this is not my Sangha. So this is all our Sangha. So is part of 3 jewels. It part of 3 jewels. Okay? So now you may think, oh, how can be there are 3 jewels, this much bad person, how can be 3 jewels, part of 3 jewels? You may think that. So I answer you this. Just remember, according to the Buddha, the Buddhist view, everything is interdependent. Remember? Except Buddha nature, everything is interdependent. Means there is no one truth by self. When we say true or not true, bad or good, or comparatively dependent on something, just remember that. So when you say, oh, this Sangha member is so bad and not acceptable, You might write in one level the appearances he or she might be very bad, incredible self-centered or egotistic or aggressive or liar, whatever. Yes, that is appears. Maybe appears for you, maybe appears a few others as well. Maybe appears for all Sangha community you know. Appears for all of them is a very bad person. Possible. But it still is your Sangha. It still is part of 3 jewels. Okay? You may think, oh, that's not possible. I don't believe it. No, none of other lamas said. Didn't say any other text. Or this is not definition of the, no quality of the definition of this Sangha. You can many ways argue like that. But I tell you why it's still your Sangha. First reason, this Sangha member is not Buddha nature. Remember, this is a relative truth. Phenomenon of relative truth. Therefore is interdependent. So what you see, all these weaknesses is only dependently, not independently. That's why it's only relative truth. That's why you can't say black and white, okay? One reason. The second reason is your karmic version. Is only your karmic version, and the other maybe few people's karmic version similar. That doesn't prove anything solid, okay? More important reason, third, it is ordinary Sangha. You've forgotten that. It's not a perfect Sangha, okay? The ordinary Sangha, non-perfect Sangha member. Why equally important than perfect Sangha, Arya Sangha? Now I tell you, you be carefully understand, okay? The Buddha and Dharma and Arya Sangha and ordinary Sangha or equally important are different reasons. not same reason. It's different reasons. Okay? Buddha is someone we can trust. Something even we don't understand what he says, something. That means all his teachings we don't understand, but we just believe. We can believe, we can trust. Okay? Dharma is different reason. You just trust Dharma and do nothing, doesn't do anything. You have to integrate your own life with your life. That's why important. Buddha, you cannot integrate in your life, can you? But Dharma, you can. Okay? Then Sangha, the Arya Sangha, ordinary, extraordinary Sangha. Why important? It inspirational role model. You get it? That's different than Dharma. You can't integrate Buddha Maitreya, can you? You can't integrate a Sangha, can you? You can't integrate Nagarjuna, can you? It's not. But you can inspire. So that's why important. Equally. Different reason, you see? Different reason. Okay? Now, the ordinary Sangha. Why equally important? Is your companion to go enlightened path. If you need to go far away, are you prefer go by yourself or go with companions? Even one companion or many, which one you prefer? Definitely everybody prefer many people because it's such far away, such unknown way, far away. If so many people going, you feel much comfortable. Even going exercise or something, little jobs or something you do, is it easier for you to have a companion or by yourself? Anything you need effort, you need, is important for you to have companion to do together. Only very disciplined people, they can do by itself. Majority of the people, they prefer do with friends. It's similar. So we need ordinary Sangha, not just Arya Sangha. Even not Arya Sangha and the past ones, the Nagananga Sangha, not like this. Even in the present, if there is something incredible Sangha, is it too far away for you? You can't keep it. So you need somebody similar of you, not too far from you. You need that kind of Sangha. That is the ordinary Sangha, okay? So that's why Buddha put equal important. Okay? Different reasons. Okay? Why I have to say this? Because I heard so many times people not consider this way. So I have long time talk about this, but didn't have chance. Too many other topics. So this time, urgently want to talk in the public. So I really hope everybody understand. Okay, so may you think, oh yeah, okay, yeah, ordinary Sangha, yeah, okay, I understand, but not very bad ones. You may think that. The very bad ones is destruction for me. It's not helpful. That's why I don't want. You may think that. But the reality doesn't matter good or bad. As long as this bad one is the category to try and I have little inspiration, this bad guy had tried to practice Dharma, and you already share with you, then you can't deny. It's important for you. When we say can't deny, you can't abandon, means it's not saying I made this role, you can't. Somebody made this role, you can't. We're not saying that. We're saying you cannot because not good for you. It's not good for your practice. That's what we said. Okay, then what I have to do? This is destructive one, right? Not so good one. Not very inspired one. What do you have to do? You have to help. Do you get it? Is your Sangha, is your companion. If we go on the path, if someone hurt leg or cannot walk, is you have to take care or you just leave them and let die? Think about that. Even worldly companion, they have to do something. They have to take care. So Dharma, enlightened path, how can you not help them? You just let them die. How you do that? That's impossible. If you did, you abandoned 1 3 joule. So then you only can say, I take refuge 2 joules, but you can't say 3 joules, okay? It's not true. So think of that. But if you do, then is your opportunity. Is opportunity sharpen your patience, your tolerance, your bodhicitta, your kindness, everything. Sharpen. Opportunity for kindness, opportunity for patience, everything. Isn't we practicing those? If we not practicing this, then what do you do in the Buddhist path? So think of that. So that's why now you see, doesn't matter the ordinary and even very bad one in the ordinary Sangha, still is something to do with you, is your companion. In the ordinary Sangha, if they're good ones, you look up and try to be like similar of them. And then similar of you, oh, this is okay, you just companion together. And then worse than you ones, you have to take care of them as much as you can. Therefore, it's not about, oh, he or she is so bad, and then you gossip and you backbiting, and then you laughing about, you make fun of. Is not that. Something you should have sympathetic, you should have empathy, you should have kindness. For instance, if you are parents, you have a very intelligent children, and then medium ones, and very stupid children, or you can say very disabled children. Would you deal with all of them in your best way, or you just the disabled ones, stupid ones, you make fun of them and you tell everybody how bad they are and you abandon them? What do you do? Nobody abandoned. Even samsara worldly parents, they wouldn't abandon the bad children. So how can you journey to the enlightenment, you abandon the bad Sangha members? You can't. You can't mean it's bad for you if you abandon them. As long as they try, if they not even try, they disturb the teacher, they destroy the Dharma, they not listen to Sangha, they harm the Sangha, and saying, I'm not practice, I have no trust, 3 jewels. If like that, then you can't do anything. But you still not make fun. You can make boundary. This person out of the 3 jewels completely, then yes, you can make boundary. You make sure you are not influenced like that, but still you can't make fun of them. You have to have at least sympathy, empathy, and sad for them, pray for them. Even physically, you have to a boundary. Still, you have to pray for them. You have to try any possibility to make them better with your kindness. That's what you have to do. If you don't do, you have no 3 jewels. If somebody, parents, abandon the disciple children and only love the intelligent children, do you consider they are proper parents? Definitely not. It's worse than this, because parents is just ordinary samsara. They're meant to be selfish. But we taken enlightenment path. So how come we become worse than samsaric parents? So just remember that. Okay. This is not I made it. Remember why? Because Buddha said it. Remember in the Tantrayana, the 3rd heaviest, and you not just abandon Sangha member, but you have hate the Sangha member, then you break the heaviest, the 3rd tantric commandments. It's not I made up. That's definitely ordinary Sangha. How can you hate Arya Bin or Bodhisattva? Impossible. Ordinary Sangha, you cannot hate. Okay? That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, now, hopefully I try to explain something so you understand the reason behind. As I said before, these 3 jewels are Buddhist unique, remember? So other religions, they don't have that equal, they have communities. They have practitioner communities. Of course, Christian, Muslim, anybody, they have community. but they don't call Sangha and they don't put equal as God. Okay? But we are Buddhists, we equal as Buddha. Important, different reason, different ways. Not saying they're good as Buddha, this ordinary Sangha, bad one. But important for us to practice the path equal. A different reason. So the reason behind, if I explain you, the Patimoksha path and Bodhisattva path, Tantrayana path, maybe you can, this helps you to understand. You know, Bodhisattva path, Mahayana path is superior than Patimoksha path. And Vajrayana, Tantrayana path is superior than Mahayana path. So why? How? Is not they go different 3 jewels. Remember? Is not they take refuge different jewels. Remember? It's still 3 jewels. Same 3 jewels. Okay? But then why become superior? Because the skills, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the methods, or you can say skills. For instance, someone have no much skills, they have a lot of rock, they can make a fence or at least can build the house with rock. That's all they can do. But somebody have more skills, or some machine as considered skills, they can make much nicer than normal rock. That's like Bodhisattva path. But someone knows how to take the gold from the rocks. That's Vajrayana path. You see, same rock have better and better way user. Similarly, the Patimoksha path, Bodhisattva path, and Tantrayana path, same person like us, same 3 jewels, same teacher, same Sangha, everything same, but they have a different view, different understanding, so become superior. I'll give you example. Patimoksha path, say 3 jewels, I take they say I take refuge 3 jewels, but more emphasize Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha is how do you say, less. They don't say less, never. But when they practically, not so much. That's why they don't say, oh, your teacher, if you disturbed this, then you go to hell. They don't say that. The teacher is until you know your rules, everything, you know very well, until then, usually say 10 years. You have to listen them. But they didn't say, oh, your teacher is a Buddha. Your teacher is the more important than your any other relationship. Didn't say that. But the Bodhisattva path, they call the best, your teacher is the best friends. Best friend means more than parents, more than anybody. But still didn't say if you a little bit upset your teacher, then you go to hell. Didn't say. And Vajrayana, the Tantrayana, say if you upset your teacher, you break the first, the most heaviest of commandments, the Samaya, the holy commandments, you break. If you not purified, not confessed, not purified, and then the consequence is the Vajra here, the deepest. Some people can think, oh, this Vajrayana is terrible. This Tantrayana terrible. They can see that, think that a different view. But all Buddha taught. Why Buddha make, when we talking about that, the teacher, can you understand the teacher is like part of Sangha? Think that way is easier. Of course, in Tantrayana said the teacher is embodiment of everything, all Buddhas, 10 directions. But what appears for you is normal human being, right? The teacher appears for you is normal human being. So normal human being is definitely the part of Sangha, right? Even you don't understand how can is Buddha, how can the embodiment of all mandala, but you definitely understand as human. And so then is your one of Sangha member. You definitely understand that way. But this Sangha member is why it becomes so important. Because as said before, the rock, only little bit skill can make fences. For them important, the rock, but not very important, just making fences. But you can make marble, for them is more important, more expensive, the same rock. But the Vajrayana here, more important because you can take the gold. Or there's also skills how you can make rocks, can make gold. Okay, is that skill, then this teacher is more important than all Buddhas. Talking about this ordinary teacher, okay? The ordinary teacher appears ordinary. I think often people thinking, oh, teacher is so important because of its emanation of Buddha. Yes, that text said, but emanation of Buddha or not is not really important. The more important is your own perception, your own skills. Just same as you can make rocks gold. You see, the difference become is all subjective, not so much objective. When we explain in something objective, is explained for children. But when we understand like subjective, then you are intelligent. When we tell fairy tale or stories for children, even animals, we talk like human to the children. Otherwise, they don't understand. But adult people, we not talk as human, the animals. The same thing. When you understand well, if you are Vajrayana practitioner, then you understand this ordinary human teacher is more important than all Buddhas. It's not saying they are better than Buddhas. It's definitely not better than Buddhas, especially this appear the teacher. What reality behind, we don't know. But the appearance, the ordinary teacher is how can be more important than Buddha? Not possible. But no better than Buddha, impossible, but more important than Buddha. Okay. Similarly, why I explain you this? Because this is something already people already well known. But Sangha, nobody explain like this way. So that's why for you to explain, the teacher or same teacher have different understanding and different effect on the path. Similarly, Sangha also in Vajrayana more important. The same Sangha, the ordinary Sangha, is more important for your path, for your journey, for your progress of the path. Okay? So you have to understand this way. Okay. Now I want to talk something a little bit practical and more like human. But we distinguish Dharma and human, and then what you can do between. That's what we're going to talk about, okay? when Sangha members not get along each other, don't like each other, whatever reason, what do we do? That's what we're going to talk about. This is very important. Why? Because these challenges could become to not everybody, but many people. So what to do? And then we compare ordinary people, non-practitioners. Let's say non-practitioners, you work together, many people work together in company or whatever. One of the colleagues you don't like at all, really annoying. What do you usually do? You have to pretend. You have to pretend like them. And you try to not say anything bad because they're going to fire you or whatever other reasons. Basically, only way of dealing, you just pretend and angry and suffering inside, but outside you fake and try to make nice. So if Sangha member you don't like, should we do that or something else? Think about that. Because usually Sangha members, their understanding is, oh, I don't like this person, but I can't say anything. I break a vow. I can't say any bad things, and then I break a vow. Or sometimes they pretend, even they don't like it, they pretend they are okay. Is that happened? Do you happen for you or others? Have you seen? So regardless what text say, or you can't say anything, the Sangha member, because you break a vow, third vow. Bad explanation. The reality, you should not be like the work colleagues, the samsara company work colleagues, what they do each other. You should not do that. What do you do that? What you should do? The best possibility, when you don't like, you're annoying, you look inside yourself rather than, oh, this person's so bad. You look inside why I think is so bad. Am I have a little bit jealous? Am I have a little bit competition? Am I have, there is reason inside you, you might find. or maybe you find, oh, I'm jealous, and oh, I am envy. You know, you found something maybe inside you. Then you confess is your own problem, not object, is subjective. That is good, then you fix it that way. Even you try that, you don't see it, you 100% is objective. You see is yourself is faultless, really faultless, but the other one is incredibly bad. What you should do then? Second best. You sympathize. You sympathize. And then you try to be extra kind. Extra kind. Why extra kind? Because if you are extra kind, maybe they listen you. So you try to make them better. In gentle way, if it's necessary, a little bit direct way, but first maybe not direct. First gentle way, then if you're lucky, then if you get along very well, slowly, maybe you can directly, you can lead with really good motivation. That's second best. I mean, why second best? Because it's more likely you're both at fault, but you see it's 100% their fault. But still you're doing sympathetically helping. So that's why it's the best, but it's second best. But if the best, you don't see anybody. You or if this is your own fault, you always see like that way. But the second best is okay, still is good. You know? And then third best, difficult for you sympathize and be extra kind and everything. So you say you find a way. Even you have to be a little bit fake. You try to be a little bit fake kind and say, find a way, can we talk proper? And you sit down, find time, make time, sit down and discussion. But if you talk dialect, sometimes then you see, oh, okay, it's not bad as I thought. Probably then is a little chance you can fix your relationship. There's a chance you fix your perception. Many things are possible. If you cannot do all of this, you are incapable to do any of this, then what do? You are really angry inside. You say it or don't, you pretend not angry. Which one better? If you have a little kind or at least honest, even you say it badly, a little bit better than you just pretend inside incredible angry, jealous, and suffering. Pretend say nothing. Pretend that's not good. Better to say it, say badly, or you are so bad, or you are like this, or whatever you said it, better to say it. But what you have to try to do this, even you say it is enough for you, and you not continue clinging on this. Instead, you just say it is enough. Can this, you just say it? Can you feel a little bit better? That, if yes, that is a little bit better than zero. Little bit better than pretend. Inside you had it. Okay? Or you can third person bring and let them mediate, and then you feel better. And then sometimes a little bit close each other, and then you make progress from there, slowly, slowly. This is a little bit better than pretend and lie. Why? Because there's a little chance to fix and improve. But how much chance, how much degree chance, depends what you say, what your reason, how you behave. Many things. But still better than pretend no angry. Far way better than gossip and backbiting. The worst is backbiting and gossip and make fun of. Why that's worse? Do you know why? Because it shows yourself a no practitioner, zero practitioner, because you don't have even sympathy. Your companion, let's say if you have journey walking somewhere, your companion broke the leg, you make fun, zero sympathy. It's similar like this. Even the 100% this person's fault, still you can't make fun, because we are not ordinary people. We are going journey to enlightenment. There's no enlightenment path without any kind, zero kindness. You know, you making fun of them, you backbiting is the worst for yourself. Okay? I hope you understand this. Why? I explained why. Okay. You know, usually one thing I want to say, then finish it. You have to learn this. Usually people say, oh, he's so bad because he told me that. He told me, said, I'm ugly person. Or he said me, I'm a bad person. or he or she told me I have horns, I'm a demon, or I have horns like a cow, or I have vans like tiger, or what do you call bill. So people are angry, right? He said me even that. She said me even that. I'm so angry. But the problem is we are angry because who's angry, who's saying that, we need not talk about that yet. Who is angry because others people saying that? Why are you angry? Oh, because he said me that. He said me this, she said me this. Hello, what is the problem? If you are not a bear, then someone say you are bear. What is the problem? You not become a bear. You don't have horns. Somebody say, oh, you have horns. You must be demon. You are not demon. You have no horns. So what is the problem? The problem is you don't have confidence within yourself. You believe, you have many, many problems. That's why somebody telling you a little bit, then you very easily offended. If you have confidence, I'm completely pure, why are you angry? You don't need angry. The other, because you showing you have no love and kindness. Because someone, even you have no horns, just say horn, you just angry. Somebody say you are ugly, you just angry. If you are not ugly, if someone say ugly, you not become ugly. That means you have no confidence. You are okay, comfortable with how you look at. That's why we are angry. Insecurity, insecurity. And lack of confidence, lack of kindness, lack of patience, lack of tolerance is our own problem. You see that? Usually, somebody say, oh, I'm a bad. Then you say, we argue back. Oh, you are worse than me because you this. That means you immediately, it doesn't matter the other one is so bad, you immediately show you are as bad as the other one. Is you showing yourself, not the other one. The other one, okay, very bad, okay, already. But if you really better than him or her, you should not react. But we react. Sometimes react equal, sometimes react even worse. That means you show yourself as worse than the other one. You proved. It's not other people proving. You see? The purpose you try to, I'm better than you. I'm better than him or her. but you showing you are worse than them. You see, any reaction distance is you proving how you are bad. The purpose is different. We try to, I'm better than you. That's you try to approve it. But the effect is the opposite. So that's majority people understand this way. The only very low quality like you, they think, oh, that's good. So that's why, please, not harm yourself. Not taken out of the path of enlightenment. Is your Sangha, is your companion. Even they are so bad, you need help them, not make fun of. Unless they never receive the help. Always reject. You can try many times. All the time, maybe then you can't. But you never give up in the mind, even you give up in the action. Sometimes we have to give up the action because we have limited time. But mind is not limited, you never give up. Why never give up? Because body survive well. You know, all the 18 and 46, or the essence is you never give up one sentient being, never in the mind. If you do, you are not Mahayana path. You are not Vajrayana path. Just remember that. Okay? If you have any questions, welcome. Even it's late, but it's important. It's as long as related with the subject.
If you have any questions, you can add them to the Q&A in Zoom in your own language. You can also add them on Facebook, and we will ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You prepared the questions, but I have one thing forgot to say. Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, equally important, but for us, even Sangha is more important. Do you know why? The ordinary Sangha is even more important. Why? Because we have to do the job. You know, the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, they already done job. They're already doing trillion times better than us. We are practically, we go together and do it. For instance, if we are a company, if we do very well, this company, we need role models, inspirational role models, need other companies or stories or whatever. But the job we have to do. So that's why the Sangha community, Sangha unity is for us practical level more important than Buddha, more important than Dharma. Because if we have unity, we can achieve so many things, and even we can achieve a golden age, transform this world. Everything is about unity. But individual Dharma practices not happen to that. golden age, huge achievements never happens, only individually. That's why, in general, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha is equal. But for us, practically based on Sangha unity. Therefore, whatever we do together, same direction, same purpose. Not, oh, this is I want to do, or this. Not consider is like your own business, your own personal wishes. Please put it together. Buddha said it. All together, broom, you, how do you call it? You sweep the path with broom, many sticks together, you can sweep. But one single stick, you can't. The same thing or unity can do anything. So just remember that. So that's why achievement level, global achievement level, the Sangha unity is number one important. And personal level, Sangha is your opportunity to develop your patience, your tolerance, your kindness, not thinking else well. Please do with Sangha. I'm not talking about only our Sangha, Golden Age Sangha. I'm not only talking this. I'm talking any Sangha members. Anybody listen. You know, we all actually together, we all follow Buddha's path. So we have to do together. If we not do together, we becomes like Hinayana. You understand? Nor Mahayana, nor Vajrayana. So just remember that. All these bad Sangha members also our opportunity to practice. Just remember that. Okay? For samsara, you have disciple children is unfortunate, but still you have to take care of them. But for the enlightened path is bad Sangha members, difficult Sangha members, is still our opportunity to take care of them, to develop our bodhicitta, kindness, okay? So then we can achieve unity. So we can achieve anything. Thank you.
Okay, our first question. Rinpoche, is it right or okay to point out the shortcomings of others in order to help them? Or do we just look at ourselves regardless of what others do and not point out their issues?
Whenever you point out, you have to consider a few things I mentioned. You have to listen again. So first, to make sure your perception is correct. You examine that again, not just straight away. And second, if yes, then your motivation, you check your own motivation. And third, you're skillful. There's any skills you can use, not just without thinking, do everything. So check all of them, then is all correct, then you can try. But always have to be skillful. Yeah, otherwise, yeah, people have limitation.
Rinpoche, I do not feel stable enough to approach the Sangha or the community with my deluded mind. The Buddha and the Dharma stabilize me while I feel destabilized with the Sangha. I guess, what should they do?
You don't have to see Sangha members are perfect. You have to see as they're trying, but they have a lot of limitations and weakness. So your opportunity to try to be tolerant with them, at least tolerant. Tolerance is not so good considered, but that's the worst scenario is tolerant. Worst scenario, but maybe it's your own problem, maybe not theirs. So that means you need to improve in this way. They're given you opportunity to improvement. But if you never try, then you never improve. You cannot avoid it. You have to face and try.
Okay, the next question, Rinpoche, is how do we proceed if there are those bad people are not, okay, if the bad person in the Sangha is not behaving badly towards me or us, but they are speaking badly about the Lama or breaking their samaya and actively creating disharmony in the Sangha. Should we keep them close and just go on, or break contact if we are not able to help them, or what should we do with samaya breakers in the community?
If this person is doing it that bad, is not just you aware, but all other Sangha members, if they are aware together, then you can have Sangha discussion what to do, not one person's decision. You know, discussion and how can I help this person? How can we improve this? Or this person just never listen and it just, yeah, it's whatever. You have to, you have to have brainstorming with kindness and compassion, not one person's decision.
So Rinpoche, this is a question from one community, but I think it's pretty consistent with all of our communities worldwide. They're asking that they have a lot of people in the community who receive the Kala Chakra initiation from you, and they show up to your teachings when you come to town sometimes, but they don't really participate in the practice sessions or be that involved in the community. So what can we do to help get these people more involved in our community? And I think any group that's had a Kala Chakra empowerment has faced this challenge.
If horse doesn't want to drink water, we cannot force them drink, you know. Yeah, so every possibility we can offer, but if they not drink, we can't do anything. We can't force them. Dharma doesn't work in a force way.
Rinpoche, can you share some advice for us on how we can be more attentive when we talk about our Dharma brothers and sisters so that we don't accumulate a lot of bad karma or create a lot of conflicts? I think the question is sometimes we probably need to talk just to work out things, but how do we do that in a way that doesn't create a lot of bad karma?
When you talking, you try to always talking to according to the text, according to the samaya. You talk like this way, and you don't talk anything personal. You know, I mean the person criticism a person, rather than you talk the Dharma, and then you say we all have to follow this. Da 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 da. This is you discussion. You have a discussion distance. Whatever other people doing bad things, you can discussion about that in Dharma. In the Dharma, what said in the text, and what Samaya was said. This sense you discuss without saying this person doing wrong. So maybe you have chance to they realize. So probably you have to take that first step, and then you have to see what happens.
Okay. I need clarification on that one. Rinpoche, how do we relate to people who have disabilities? I'm guessing that this is your question, correct me if I'm wrong, is about mental disabilities, because I don't think physical disabilities would make it difficult, like make it hard to practice Dharma. But anyway, they're asking, how do we share practices with someone who has mental disabilities?
Mental disabilities, how depend how serious the mental disability, how the capacity of the mental. You have to offer something they can handle, only that level. You cannot do more than that.
They're wondering if you had any suggestions on type of practices that might be helpful, or is it completely dependent on the level?
Of course, the different level, different level, and simple meaning, if they understand, you can explain the simple meaning. And if simple things they can chant and, like that, you help that. Then something physically can go, some participation or listening puja, or it's the most important. Of course, you try to explain something. So something their disciple is you have to see as some kind of opportunity. You have to make everything is the opportunity. For instance, like if the disciple and then don't have to work, and that is the opportunity, so they can do whatever the limit ways, they can do simple things, making tata, or something, anything they can do. You have to try of help them like that way.
Okay. Rinpoche, let's see. Sorry, there's a few translations. Rinpoche, how when we've had like a issue in the community, oftentimes even if somebody is wrong, there may be too much pride to really ask for forgiveness or work through it. How do we help that process if we have an issue in the community and someone's too proud to realize their role in the problem?
You always have to see if someone is very bad, is their own problem, not like you making Sangha huge problems. when we consider already this person is so bad and he doing bad things in the Sangha, the bad things in Lama, which means that means we already said we are not bad as him, right? Or her. So if that case, you just be a good as us, be, and not focus in how he is bad or she is bad. We thought making conflicts. If you have skills, this person realize and making confession or something become a better. You certainly you can do that, but if you're not sure, not focus that. Just focus yourself. You set up good examples. So then maybe this bad person slowly he will realize and then become a better.
Rinpoche, in this talk, you've mentioned the 3 jewels. What are these 3 jewels that we take refuge in? What do they mean by jewel?
Jewel means is pursues. The translation is called 3 jewels, but in Tibetan we don't call 3 jewels. We call kun chuksam. Kun means rare. Chuk means sublime. The rare 3 rare sublime, something like that. But when we say 3 jewels, that's also similar meaning of the sublime, and the real. So not so much because the precious jewels is rare than the rock, normal rock. So that's why it's real, and then precious, normal rock, than normal rock. So that's why I call it 3 jewels.
Okay. Rinpoche, how do we find harmony and deal with people that use their limitations as an excuse not to change? We all have limitations, so how do we work with everyone's limitations, especially when people don't want to change to make more harmony?
First step is focus on yourself, more improve and more skillful. And if you can't do that, then second step, the community have tried to work together, together brainstorm or whatever with kindness, not with try to competition, not competition or hate somebody, not that, but you can do that. If that's not possible, then you just stay away from, no choice. The worst scenario, you just have to stay away from. If it's really bad, but you can only stay away from. You don't have any run of any other solution. Run of your capacity, only that option. You stay away.
Rinpoche, how do I recognize the feeling of arrogance when it arises in my own mind? Like, how can I tell that I am arrogant?
You have to think of, have you ever fell from anything? if you are fell, that means as you had arrogant. So arrogant is always before fair. Okay. So if you are never fair from anything, maybe you're not so arrogant, because arrogant is more pride than your quality.
When we discuss matters in the Sangha, if the person who disagrees, he or she always goes to ask Rinpoche and then causes debate. While it is supposed to be something small, what should we do? So I think they're having small disagreements, but somebody instead just goes straight to ask you always for questions and try to solve it. And they're asking, what should they do?
If the small things always go to the Rinpoche, that means that person is arrogant, and that person is using the Rinpoche. So this person have to be careful. But other people say, oh, you are bad because you use the Rinpoche, doesn't work. But this person should be careful.
One moment, Rinpoche, I have to finish translating. Okay, Rinpoche, I don't understand what failure and arrogance have to do with each other. I didn't understand your answer.
Okay, so if you think you understand something, Dharma or whatever, something you think you understand, but then you anytime realize not really understood, that means you are arrogant. Yeah, anything you ever fail means, nobody is trying to fail. Everybody is successful. Anything, even you drive or you cooking, or you mess up something, you drove your computer, or all of them is some kind of arrogant. That's why we fail. But if we know exactly how to do, you have that real confidence, not arrogant, then we never fail. I don't know how, I can't explain clearer than that. That's a very simple one. Everybody should understand.
Rinpoche, this is a really good question. This person's pointing out that we have a really international community. And so how do we learn to have more understanding for cultures or tolerance? Because some languages like German naturally sound harsh, and some cultures have more direct and energetic answers, while others may be less direct and more soft. And so how do we learn to understand each other's cultures to have less jumping to conclusions? Because this person's using German for example, because sometimes they feel that people judge that they're saying something mean or harsh just because the language sounds harsh, but that doesn't, it's a cultural thing. It's not like the reality of what they're saying.
Okay, so that means we have to see as an opportunity. For us, opportunity to have an international Sangha, and then something's very strange, language or whatever appears, then you not just jump in the conclusion, or so bad or whatever. You just have to think, oh, interesting, must be culture or something different. You always consider your own limitation to not understand every culture, and then you make room. Always, whatever appears, you not judge accordingly. Instead, you make a room, your own limitation. Maybe they try to be good, help, but their way of doing is maybe like this. So you have to take as an opportunity. You have to consider it as an opportunity and try to learn different cultures and different way of doing things.
And the next
not many people have that opportunity. Not everybody have that opportunity. We have to see as opportunity to understand in multiple cultures and multiple ways, and so improve our own skills.
Rinpoche, then the next question is similar. It's asking if you can say something about how we can better deal with issues of class, working middle and upper class in the Sangha. I think this is more subtle because different classes have different expectations, for instance, of even how much people can give or what's an appropriate type of way to entertain or invite people or relate based on their social economic class, and how do we bridge that with people from all backgrounds in our community?
Okay, then we have to remember always, you have to remember what I'm the class. Myself, what class? You just have to remember that. Then you thinking, am I dealing which class? Okay, am I dealing which class? So then try, even I'm lower class, do I have any ideas how to deal with the other upper class? Or even you are an upper class, then you consider, oh, who's I'm dealing with? How can I expect in my own way? Other than that, how can I make more skillful to dealing with the lower class people? And you just have to always be mindful which class you are and who you dealing with and how you dealing with, how you deal it. You have to be mindful, that's all.
I'm trying to get through a lot of the questions from Rinpoche. It's been an
Okay.
important. This person's wanting clarification. Earlier, we had the question of, two people having minor disagreements and one person always going directly to you to try to solve the problem instead of dealing with their group. And you said that person would be taking advantage of you. So this person's asking, why is asking you about little things taking advantage? Like, how is that taking advantage? They don't understand.
Oh, I thought you talking about in general, but are you talking about me personally?
Oh,
Okay.
no, it could be in general. They just said Rinpoche, so it could be any Rinpoche. So we can,
So what is the question?
my suggestion.
You mean why taking advantage, or what do you mean? The
Why
question?
would it be taking an advantage of a Rinpoche to go to them for every, why?
Or why taking the advantage of Rinpoche?
Are using the Rinpoche if they
Why?
go to,
We don't know why. We don't know why. We don't know. Every individual have different reason. Basically, it doesn't matter what reason, doesn't matter. As long as you take an advantage, then it's not so good. That's all. Right?
Um,
Okay, for instance, I tell you, if I never ever report any my problems, any of my teacher, entire my life. Okay, I have, how to say, a little bit Dharma connection. Maybe I have more like 50 teachers, but it's more. A lot of recent teachings. I have 25 teachers. I never ever report even one my problems. Why? Because I thought it's not worth to reporting and disturbing lamas. Disturbing means not upsetting. I'm not considered upsetting lama. No way. But lama may be never upset. But lama means may never upset. But even I take the space, time to report this problem. Instead, lama means something you have report some good things. You know, I have this progress practice, or I did tolerate this, or you know, something you overcome, or anything you progress, or anything make lama please, lama have joy. And that things meant to be reported. It's not reporting all the problems. But I listen all the problems all the time. And I'm willing to listen problems, but hopefully not small problems. If you have a run-off solution, maybe yeah, you report me, I listen, yes. But if I never report any problems, any my teacher ever. Okay, so probably similar me, the others as well. But I myself, I never done that.
Okay, Rinpoche, this person's asking about the 14th root downfall of respecting women, right? So they're saying, how do they handle a woman that even though they know this woman's not ethical, she's selfish and prideful and is making false accusations, but and making false reports to the Dharma community, but she's a woman. So what should we do? Because we shouldn't disparage a woman. Or if the situation becomes escalated, because if there's broken laws or harm people, should we report them to the police, or should we not report them because they're a woman?
Okay. Is no disparage women, not women. You got it? Women.
Yeah, I think you have to further. It would help to further clarify.
Women is the old woman. Is said you can't disparage because is women. You know, all woman or one woman, you cannot disparage because of women, because of female. You can't. That is if you do, and then 14th break vow. It's not like one individual woman very bad, but you cannot say you pretend. It's not that. It's, you know, the why made this tantra Tantra made that vow because our society, even the Buddha time, they have this attitude to women, putting down. So that's why Buddha made this. You cannot disparage because she is woman or all women. Can't. Means that it's not individual woman so bad and but instead you just pretend good, you never say nothing. It doesn't mean that. If it's absolutely necessary, you can say it, of course.
Okay, Rinpoche, if it is obvious that a Rinpoche's close volunteers are using Rinpoche's name to promote their own agendas, such as making a business that profits from Sangha members, or even blocks that Rinpoche's access to that Rinpoche's teaching, should we speak out?
Yeah, if that is obvious, then definitely you should report, because this is not good for themselves. But we have to investigate, is really bad, or also we can discuss with this person why you do that, and what do you have any good reason? We have to ask. Yeah.
Just looking to see if there are any other specific questions related to this topic. Okay. I think we answered I think we got all the questions related to this topic. We just have a few comments. One comment is that arrogant people rarely can admit or notice that they even failed. So they're not usually even aware of it. So it's more just how then would they even recognize their arrogance if they're usually too arrogant to admit they failed at anything.
Okay, so finally, you just remember this. Anybody arrogant or pride or tricky or whatever is something we have sympathy, not we going to angry with them. Is angry is harm yourself, have bad consequences yourself. That's not the solution. The solution is sympathy, or this unfortunate person, how can I help? If you have a kindness and courage to can help, and some skills to help, that's the best. If not, then just sympathy. That's it. Not angry. That's what we try to do, okay?
Thank you so much, Rinpoche, for this incredible teaching. Many people wrote thank you and that they enjoyed this teaching. And thank you for your teaching, comments like this. And Sherab Gyalma will lead us in the dedication.
By all these virtuous deeds of accumulated merit, may all beings be rescued from the ocean of samsara, where the tide of aging, sickness, and death is violently active. May this merit help all beings attain Buddhahood and be victorious of all the enemies of deceptive obscurations. By the goodness of what I have just done, may all beings complete the accumulation of merit and wisdom and gain the two sacred bodies. Whatever roots of virtue have been accumulated now or throughout the 3 times, I dedicate them here so that all mother-like beings may attain perfect and complete Buddhahood. Just like the exalted ones, Manjushri and Samantrabhadra practiced, like them, I rejoice in all the virtues still to come and fully dedicate them as well. In future lives, may I never be separated from my glorious Lama. May I never be separated from the joy of practicing the precious Dharma. May I accomplish all the enlightened Bhumi levels and paths and attain the Buddhahood of Vajradhara. As long as space remains, as long as beings exist, may I remain there and expel their sorrows until they reach Buddhahood. May the precious renunciation arise which has not yet arisen, and may that which has already arisen not degenerate, may it increase. May the precious ethical discipline arise which has not yet arisen, and may that which has already arisen not degenerate, may it increase. May the precious bodhicitta arise which has not yet arisen, and may that which has already arisen not degenerate, may it increase. May the precious view of emptiness arise which has not yet arisen, and may that which has already arisen not degenerate, may it increase. May the precious Dharma be respected and remain in this world. The only medicine and cure for suffering, the source of all happiness, is the sacred Dharma. By the power of the 3 bodies of the Buddhas, the immutable truth of the Dharma, and by the power of the inseparable union of the Sangha, may all our wishes be fulfilled. Just like the morning sun rising in the sky, may these teachings of the unsurpassable great secret of all the Buddhas spread and flourish throughout this world. Through the profound aspirations of the Bodhisattva kings of Shambhala, may we manifest the glory of the second golden age in this world. May all of us Dharma brothers and sisters come to enjoy the good fortune of our courage and commitment. Om Svasti, Dharmakaya truth body, primordially free from stains of elaboration, inconceivable treasury of spontaneous clear light, perfect pristine awareness of wisdom and compassion, appearing completely as the body of the deity, Guru Kala Chakra, please protect us. Virtuous friend who with the 2 Dharmas transmits an ocean of nectar, the compassionate blessings of Manjushri and all the victor's children that manifest as a magical display of enlightened activities. Beloved guide of incomparable wisdom, may you live a long and healthy life. Endowed with Samaya, Vajra disciples gather like clouds. Roaring like thunder, the melodious sounds of Sutra and Tantra ring out, and the ambrosial rain that ripens and liberates moistens the earth. May the great lotus garden of the Buddha's teachings flourish for all time.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, translators, everybody. Thank you.